Now let us discuss about the inverse of the cos function. You take a function f from R to R defined by f of x equal to cos x. Definitely it is a function, but this function is also not 1 1 and not onto, because what is f of pi by 2? Cos pi by 2, cos 90 degree is equal to 0. F of minus pi by 2, cos of minus 90, which is also equal to 0. Therefore the function is not 1 1 and also not onto, because the range of the function is minus 1 to 1 and codomain is R. Therefore the function is neither 1 1 nor onto. Therefore the function is not invertible. Even the function is not invertible, similar to sine function, it is possible to make it as invertible by changing the domain and codomain of the function. Now here let us take the domain of the function as 0 to pi. Here we cannot take the domain as pi by 2 to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, because f of pi by 2 is also 0, f of minus pi by 2, cos of pi by 2 is also 0, cos of minus pi by 2 is also 0. But if you take the same domain as in the trigonometric function sine function, that cos x will not become 1 1. That's why we have to take the domain as 0 to pi, and you know the range of the cos function minus 1 to 1, that itself as the codomain. And if we define the function f from 0 to pi to minus 1 to 1, definitely the function will become both 1 1 and onto, and now the function is invertible. Here you take cos 0. What is cos 0? Cos 0 is equal to 1. Therefore cos inverse of 1 is equal to 0. Now we take cos pi. What is cos 180 degree? Cos 180 degree is equal to minus 1. And that's why cos inverse of minus 1 is equal to pi. What is cos pi by 6? Cos 30 degree is equal to root 3 by 2. This implies cos inverse of root 3 by 2 is equal to pi by 6. Now it is possible to find cos inverse x for all x belongs to the interval minus 1 to plus 1. But if x is greater than 1 or less than minus 1, then cos inverse x is not defined. You should know this result. If the question is asked to find cos inverse of 2, it is not defined because 2 is greater than 1. Finally, we have the definition of cos function. The definition is like this: y is equal to cos inverse x if and only if cos y is equal to x, where x belongs to minus 1 comma 1 and y belongs to 0 to pi. You have to remember the domain and codomain of the inverse of the function cos x. This is the domain and this is the codomain of cos inverse x. And how the graph of the function is. Here cos x is defined in between minus 1 to 1, and you know that cos inverse of 1 is 0, and if you decrease the value from 1, the value cos inverse x increases. You know that cos inverse of 1 is 0 and cos inverse of cos inverse of 1 by root 2 is pi by 4. cos inverse of 0 is equal to pi by 2. Similarly, cos inverse of minus 1 by 2 if you take, and that's equal to pi minus pi by 3, and cos inverse of minus 1 is equal to pi. Finally, we will have the graph of the function is like this. And remember, to find the inverse of a function, you can use the trick of getting the value of the inverse of a function. If I asked you to write the value of cos inverse of 1 by 2, you can tell the answer easily, and which is equal to pi by 3. The reason is cos pi by 3 is equal to 1 by 2. Therefore, cos inverse 1 by 2 is equal to pi by 3. You can write the value of cos inverse of 1 by root 2 also. Cos inverse of 1 by root 2 is equal to pi by 4, because cos pi by 4 is equal to 1 by root 2. Cos inverse of 1 by root 2 is equal to pi by 4. When the value is negative, cos inverse of minus 1 by 2. If you want to write the value of cos inverse of minus 1 by 2, and you can observe in the graph cos inverse of minus 1 by 2, and it will be somewhere like this. It is greater than pi by 2. You can observe cos inverse of minus 1 by 2 is greater than pi by 2. It comes somewhere here. And whenever it is negative value, you can write like this. This equal to pi minus cos inverse half. You know the value of cos inverse half, and when it is negative, you can write it as pi minus cos inverse half, and hence it is possible to values of cos inverse of a negative number, and in general this result will hold for any number less than 0. That is, cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x holds when x is a negative number. And whereas in the case of sine, it will not be like this, because you know the value of sine inverse of half. Sine inverse half is pi by 6. Sine inverse of minus 1 by 2 is not pi minus pi by 6. It is just minus pi by 6, because sine a function takes the value in between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. And to write the value of sine inverse of a negative number, just you write minus sign behind that. In general, sine inverse of minus x will be equal to minus sine inverse x, whereas cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse x. Hence, you can write the values of inverse trigonometry function of a negative number, that is cos inverse x and sine inverse x.